Good morning and welcome to the University Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. My name is Babette and I'll be your service leader today. Before we start our service, we'll have an update from our chairpersons for committee moments. Please raise your hands and Martha Kirby will call on you for your announcements.
All right, good morning, everyone. I see Mary Ann's hand up right front and center. Go ahead, Mary Ann.
Good morning, everyone. Social Action Committee. Just to let you know, this is our Faith in Action Sunday, and we are thrilled to have Babette Allen from Pathlight Home as our speaker. We've chosen Pathlight Home as our organization to work the next 3 months. They'll be sharing the plate. And we have exciting news. We've met with them and have a boots on the ground project that we think you'll love. So our first project is going to be on June 30th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're going to host a bingo game for the residents. When we talked with Gabriela Trevino, she said that the staff do this on a limited basis and the residents really enjoy getting together. So we thought a bingo game would be a good way to do that. We're looking to give prizes that are the things they need, which are things to put in your apartment, whether that is cleaning materials, home decor. These individuals are given a home at Maxwell Gardens or Maxwell Terrace, but they have limited income. So actually furnishing and providing the things they need to keep that are limited. So if you're interested, I will put in the chat my phone number in the SAT committee. So if you'd like to volunteer or donate something that could be used as a prize, we're hoping this will be a fun event. We get to meet the residents, have some fun, and also provide them with things that could be very useful to them. So we look forward to hearing from you, and this will be in the notable news with more information. So thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mary Ann. Look forward to hearing more about this organization shortly and helping with that project. John Mowbray, I saw your virtual hand up.
Hi, everybody. John Mowbray on behalf of Facilities and Grounds. And just want to give you two quick updates. Today, starting around 12:30, a few of us are going to be up at the church and we're going to start prepping the library and the hall for our painting project, which I had originally scheduled for next Sunday, which is Father's Day. So I'm not sure yet if we're going to actually paint on next Sunday or probably wait till July 11th. But at any rate, some of us will be up there today starting at 12:30 to prep, move some furniture around again to get the hallway and the library ready to paint in the next couple of weeks. Secondly and lastly, next Saturday will be our regularly scheduled Saturday workday, which is always the third Saturday of every month, from about 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. If you would like to come, donate some time and your talent, skills to help around the church, both inside and outside, we'd love to have you. All right, thank you.
Thank you, John, and thanks for your persistence in getting this scheduled and started. I saw Kelly with her hand up and then Chloe's virtual hand.
Okay, yes. Good morning. Kelly Buchanan on behalf of the RTF, which is the returning task force. We do have an announcement that we would like to make, and that is, last Sunday we came together to reignite the task force, and so I just kind of want to give you an update. And so we kind of came together, and we've actually confirmed a test pilot for the next 3 weeks, and you will be involved in that test pilot, believe it or not. And so I kind of want to review that with you. So what we've done so far, and just to kind of keep you up to date, our tech team, Paul Mata, please just and Patrick, if you have anything you want to add to this, just let me know. But our tech team has actually purchased, a new camera, some new equipment, a new computer, in order for us to actually execute a hybrid service. And so that is our goal when we go to reopen, is to have a hybrid service where you can actually either A, attend service in person, or B, you can actually watch the service at home, which we call streaming. Will be a streaming live service. And so we've done some testing and everything seems to look good. I mean, we've tested the equipment, we've tested the live streaming, the cameras. We got a little, some tweaking to do, but I think that we've got a green light to continue. And so what we're ready to do, and it's in the notable news if you haven't read it, is that we're going to have a test pilot hybrid service. And that's, you might want, if you don't have the date, it's going to be Sunday, June the 27th. Okay, and what that really means to you is that on that particular day, on Sunday, there will be no Zoom for you to click on. I don't know how you access the Zoom. Some people may have a link, some people may go to the website. But so essentially at 10:30, you will just go to the website, you'll click on either Facebook or YouTube. I think we recommend YouTube for those of you who don't have a Facebook account. It's probably only one click. You'll click on YouTube on the website, and then you should be connected to the service. If service has not yet begun, just stay there. It'll start shortly. So again, this is a test, and so what that means is that the RTF, the task force, and some of the tech team will be on site on that Sunday. We'll be there because our speaker, we'll be streaming our speaker live from the church. And so this will be a test. There'll be an option for you to make comments however you access this test pilot service, whether it's Facebook or YouTube. There'll be a place for you to reply and give us your feedback. There'll be someone monitoring that. But this information is in the notable news. I don't want to take too much more time. But again, there will be no Facebook on Sunday, June the 27th, that you'll access the service, the test service, through our website. We look forward to it. Our tech team has done just a fantastic job doing what we call a technical analysis of what we can do as a congregation to really execute efficiently with the technical equipment that we have. And as a committee, we feel that right now streaming our services live is the best option that we have at this time. We possibly could look at some Zoom options in the future, but our goal is really to get us to reopen. And so that's where we are. The notable news has more information. You can contact myself and or Paul Mata if you have any other questions. And so thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Martha. I know that was a lot, but.
It is, but okay, good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you. And thank you for the team for just doing such a great job. All the testing, they're really working hard to make sure this works. And briefly from the program team, I did not get it in the notable news this week. I've had a few distractions, but we are going to be doing a lay-led service that Sunday,
yes.
Sharing with ourselves and our community about maybe silver linings during COVID, what we've learned, how we've come together through this. I'll be working on that wording and inviting some of you to speak. So, if you want to be part of the test service, there's an additional motivation. You can't just show up, you need to speak. So be thinking about that and you'll see something from me, the program team this week. Is that one more thing, Kelly? Okay.
I'm sorry. Yes. And so what I'd like to to share with everyone here today is that we've decided when we presented our plan to the board, there was a great suggestion, and that's to do a poll. And we're going to do a poll next Sunday. And the poll is probably going to consist of just a few questions. And what we really need to know from everyone is that when we do have a reopening date, and we are pretty positive that we're going to have a reopening date in the next 3 weeks, but we need to know from everyone, you know, what are your intentions when we reopen? Is it going to be one, yes, I'm going to be there in person, or two, I'd rather wait, or three, you know what, I'm just going to sit home in my pajamas, drink coffee, and watch the service. So we really need to know that information, because it's going to help our programming team plan how we do joys and concerns. So there's a lot of complexities that's going on in order for us to do 2 services, one in person and one streaming live. And there's a lot of moving pieces. And so we're going to do a poll next week that we hope that you can participate. That's it. Thank you, Martha.
Thank you, Kelly. There are a lot of moving pieces, and Paul put 2 emails for questions in the chat. So please take a look at that and ask us anything you want. It may be something we haven't thought of yet, but the team, I say we, just the royal we, it's really the team. I haven't been fully participating there, and they're just doing a great job making sure that all this works and that we're ready to get back in person. And I'm looking forward to it. So Chloe, I know you've been patiently waiting. Go ahead. And then Dave and or Julie. Okay.
Hi, I'm here representing the Millennial Plus group. We are actually doing a home-hosted millennial group this coming Friday. It's going to be at the Mata's house at 6:30 on June 18th, 6:30 at the Mata's house. Anyone who feels like they fit into the category of Millennial Plus is welcome. 21 and up, please. Yeah, just bring yourself, bring some drinks, snacks, and it should be fun. It is listed in the notable news as today, the 13th, but it is actually the 18th. 3s and 8s look very similar. So, so it's Friday, June 18th at the Mata's house. You can either feel free to text me, or I'm sure Paul would also answer if you need the address. All right.
Thank you. Sounds like fun. I wish I was a millennial. Dave and or Julie?
Yes, I'm calling a meeting of the IT group. If you would like to be a member and are not, please email me at itadmin@uuuf.org. And we need to have a discussion over the other changes we need to make to deal with the new style of service. So I'll be sending out a notice to the members I know are part of the team, and be looking out for that, and let me know if you'd like to join the team. Thanks.
Thank you. And please look out for Dave's email or get in touch with him, because we do need more people that are technically savvy and understand IT and are willing to share some of the burden of that, because we need a broader team than just 1 or 2 people. And so if you have any understanding of IT besides how to spell it, that would be just terrific. So I'm looking for any other hands up. I don't see any virtual hands. I don't see any waving hands. So I am going to finish with, on behalf of the board, we are about a little over 50% done with voting. It's been in the notable news. We announced it last week. We've emailed all the members that we had on file. I mailed 8 paper ballots this week and included envelopes with stamps so that you can easily put it in the mail to return it. This is our vote on whether or not we are ready to move forward with a part-time minister, and whether or not you're willing to serve on a search committee should we form one. So those are the 2 questions. Please, you reach out to me, President at University UUS, if you need a paper ballot or if you have any questions. The board will be looking through the votes we've gotten and calling people just to make sure they're not missing the opportunity. We're not forcing you to vote, but if you want to participate in this really important vote we want to make sure that you do know about it. So we'll be reaching out this week. You have until the 21st, which is the Monday after Father's Day. So please just reach out to me or anyone on the board and we'll get you connected with that. Sarah just put my email and in the chat. We also have one from the parent group from Amanda, who's meeting tonight at 9. Lots of thanks and appreciation for the RTF team. And so please help us think through this so that we make it as good as it can be for all of us to be back in person. It's been a long time. And I'm ready. Okay, thank you. I'm going to turn it back to Beth.
I'm going to open our service today with a remembrance. Everyone knows it's June 13th. It has been 5 years, almost to the day, that the people of Central Florida and the country suffered an immense and senseless tragedy. Let us never forget the Pulse nightclub massacre, where some 49 people were killed and another 53 people were injured and maybe more. At that time, a UCF medical student wrote a poignant poem that was published on the internet, written to honor the individuals and their families that suffered that night on June 12th, 2016. And also to the medics and first responders, and hopefully she puts in with light, we can find our way. Orlando Strong by Allison Brown. A single candle glimmers a faintly flickering light to dispel the ghost of hatred on that shattered, dreadful night. But that light is not alone, as other lights join in, hoping their glorious brilliance proves that love and peace will win. A survivor holds a candle and blinks so not to cry, and in a whispered voice asks, why so many had to die? An advocate steps forward, grief etched on his face. Have all his years of sorrow simply gone to waste? And now a first responder, the image is still clear, of grief and blood and horror interspersed with pain and fear. And a medical student wonders from 1,000 miles away, with a city torn asunder, what words are there to say? To help to ease the sorrow, to help to heal the pain, in a time of desperate tragedy, to make a city whole again. And then she sees candles and hears the stories of her peers, of doctors and paramedics who put aside their fears to save a life today, to save another and another, a son, a friend, a companion, a lover, and a mother. And at this time of sadness, she lifts a light in turn and whispers to her classmates, this is why we learn. And so we remember. The musical interlude this morning is Morning Has Come, and I know some of us are going to sing along with this. And the music and lyrics are by Jason Shelton.
If you manage a team, you should be using Monday.com. If you of
see that life abounds. Open hearts to welcome it among us. The light of love here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home.
Please join me now in the lighting of our chalice and the affirmation. And as we say our words, please repeat them with me, and I will light the chalice I have. In the light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to sustain and to share. And for our affirmation, everyone give voice to this. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its gift. This is our great covenant to dwell together in peace, to seek truth and love, and to help one another. Let us join in just a moment of silence and meditation as we think upon these words. Welcome to all. Unitarian Universalism offers diverse and meaningful ways to connect to our sacred community. We're a lay-led congregation and a home for people with a variety of spiritual beliefs and inspired by our 7 principles. Our vision looks toward religion as a spiritual path focused on the enrichment of individual lives, justice for all, and service to our communities. We have a variety of speakers that include the physical, philosophical, the spiritual, the academic, and a variety of social services like today when we are focused on Pathlight Home and their mission to help homeless in Central Florida. I seem to have lost my screen. I don't know if you can hear me.
We can hear you, Beth.
Okay, because I've lost my screen.
Oh, the next thing is joys and concerns.
Yes. We will now get on, we'll now give voice to our joys and concerns. Please raise your hands and Ann Packham will call on you, and then we'll go on into the chat room and read any joys and concerns written there. Time for All Ages. At this time, we connect with all ages. Time for All Ages is sponsored by our RE director, Judith Stein Farrell. Judith is on a well-deserved vacation. And Joey Cole will present Time for All Ages today. What do you have for us today, Joey?
Today, I want to talk to everyone. Even though it's time for all ages, that means all ages. And the children don't often join us on Zoom, and I understand that. It's tough for them to sit through a service on Zoom. So I want to talk to parents because today our speaker is going to be talking to us about an issue that we have taken on in our social action focus for this year. And I want to talk to parents about how to approach it. Most of us want to protect our children from the more frightening aspects of life, including homelessness and poverty. But children see a lot more than we think they do. And like so many complicated issues, we want them to get their information from us, not TV or their friends at school or anything like that. We want them to hear it from us so we can direct that to some degree. We hope that you're holding these conversations with your students. One of the things that we suggest, and by the way, I'm getting most of this information off the United Way website, and the author of almost everything that I'm going to be talking about today is Connie French. First of all, you should understand your own point of view. Your child needs guidance from you. So what do you hand money out to people that are on the corner? Do you contribute to organizations that help people who are hoping to solve the problems of poverty and homelessness? When you're clear on your own feeling, then it's time to talk with your kids. You start by expressing your own feelings, saying something like, I think it's sad that person doesn't have anywhere to live. Make sure that they understand that homelessness does not make someone a bad person, because that is a very common misconception that children can get. Help kids understand that people are homeless for a lot of reasons. Sometimes it's because they got an injury or got sick or couldn't afford to pay for a doctor. Maybe they lost their job, couldn't find another one. Obviously, there are combinations of things that force people from their homes. Help kids to understand that by treating them not as an object to be talked about. If you hear your child or any kid in a social circle making fun of a homeless person, be clear that it is not okay to disrespect in that way. And just as a word of warning, sometimes parents try to use homeless people or others who are suffering as an example of what could happen to you if you don't study hard. Don't do that. It's not a time for empathy. It's a time for feeling empathy, not shaming at all in any way. And the last thing, and since it's important to us because we're going to be doing some boots on the ground volunteer work ourselves, is inspire action. Talk about services that are available in your city and how you can make a difference. In our city, there are places where people can go to get a good meal and a place to sleep, but that isn't the same as having their own house. But can you help them with that? Talk about have them have them go with you to a local food pantry, do some volunteering there, collect items, especially their old toys that they can maybe donate. If you feel comfortable giving homeless people food rather than money, then pack a few extra sandwiches when you're going out and order an extra meal at a restaurant and take it to someone that you know might be on a street corner. Explain to your child that that by giving food, you know you're helping right away. Donate time at a shelter or give money to programs that help homeless people, just like we're doing. All of the focus that social action is putting on homelessness is something you should tell your kids about so that they can begin to learn to address the social needs in our communities. Birthdays and holidays are a good time to get them to think about how fortunate we are Some kids ask their friends to donate to a local nonprofit in lieu of birthday gifts. Sometimes they do a toy purge. These are things you should really suggest. Whatever you choose to do, don't shy away from these conversations. If you never say anything about the people you see who are clearly in need, you may send the message that it's not okay to bring it up or that you're indifferent. When your child grows curious, that's your cue to start the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Joey. Before we move on to the offering, I'm going to call on Ann Packham again, who has another concern.
Thanks, Beth. I'm sorry I missed it in the chat that when I was doing joys and concerns, but Sierra had mentioned that she lost an
Now we're going to move on to our offering. We're generous society and share 40% of our offering plate to charitable or social justice organizations. And we're going to be sharing with Pathlight Home, which is dedicated to supporting our homeless in our community. I think it's for the next, I have 3 weeks. So follow the prompts on the screen for donating, or you may want to send a check directly into the fellowship. And while we're working on our donations, we're going to be listening to the music of Handel. Thank you. Our speaker today is of special importance to us. Every second Sunday of the month is special because we have dedicated it to the Social Action Committee. Our speaker today, whom I will introduce shortly, also helps define our dedication to our 7 principles. Caring about individual touches on more than one of these principles and reflects the purpose of the SAC committee. I encourage you to peruse them and take them to heart. Our speaker, Ms. Babette Allen, has been a part of the senior leadership team of Pathlight Home for over 15 years. Pathlight Home focuses on housing security. Since COVID-19, homelessness in Central Florida has become even more of an urgent problem as more displaced people need housing. Ms. Allen is highly qualified for the position she occupies. She has over 20 years experience in property management, helping low-income and displaced individuals, and holds a master's degree in business administration. Ms. Allen has HUD-specific certification and recently was honored with the 2017 Lowell Stafford Community Leadership Award. With pleasure, I introduce Miss Babette Allen. Ms. Allen?
Thank you so much, Beth. Good Sunday morning, everyone. My name is Babette Allen. As you heard, I'm the president of Pathlight Home, and I am delighted to join you today and very thankful for this opportunity. We at Pathlight Home, we're thankful that you just took the time to hear the impact that we have on our local community. At first, I want to thank you for sharing your plate. Because that's very special to us. And I also want to tell Joy that that presentation on how to speak to children was awesome. Because before I get started, I want to tell you a quick story. I have two sons, they're adults now. I'm not gonna share my age, but they're adults now. And over 23 years now working with the homeless, I used to take them to work with me all the time. And when we would have an event, they would go to work with me. When we didn't have an event, they would go to work with me. And they would just sit in the office in the summertime and volunteer. And today, I'm very proud that both of them are serving in their jobs. One is in law enforcement today in our community. And the other took a risk and moved to Los Angeles and is working with incarcerated youth over in LA, and he's working for a nonprofit. So I'm just very excited that just taking them to work today it really sparked their interest in helping others. And that's really important because that's how we're going to change our world. So that was really awesome, Joy. So enough about me. Towards the end of our discussion, I'm going to share a video. It's our welcome home video, because I always feel like video and pictures is always better than words. We want to show you the impact that we're making in the Central Florida community. And everyone can hear me well, correct? Just want to make sure. Perfect. Okay. Again, my name is Babette Allen, and Pathlight Home was founded by our Reverend Fred L. Maxwell. He was a local reverend within the Central Florida community, and his mission was to help the least among us. So what he did was there was an article on what he wanted to do in the community, and our co-founder, Ms. Helene Bloom, read the article, really excited, and looked for ways to help him help the homeless persons within the community. And they started Grand Avenue Economic Community Development Corp., which is a very long name. So we moved towards Pathlight Home, and it was established in 1992. And I'm going to share with you how much we've grown over the 29 years that we've been in operation. As previously mentioned, when the bingo was discussed, we have two locations. You all will be participating at our Maxwell Garden location on South Orange Blossom Trail. But we have our first location was Maxwell Terrace with 75 units. And it was with using the Housing First motto, which is huge with HUD today. We want to house our homeless persons and work on their issues after we house them. Well, we started that 29 years ago. That was our priority, to house them first and then to provide them the services that they needed to become more self-sufficient. Today, we have over 600 units in Orange County. We have a location in Orlando, Orange County. We also have a partnership project in Seminole County with the Seminole County government, and a small project in Volusia County. So we're very excited that we're able to reach out into all areas, and we hope to be eventually getting further in the community and continue dreaming, as you will see in our welcome home video. So what we've done over the years, we've taken two former hotels and we've turned them into efficiency style apartments for residents to live. We have community kitchens where they can cook. So they're given a room. It has a kitchen space, a bathroom, and we can house up to 2 persons within that each location. We have 3 supportive housing programs. When I say permanent supportive housing programs, these programs house persons who are chronically homeless, which are a little bit more difficult when you're dealing with a chronic homeless population versus just the homeless population. Sometimes people can be, well, put it this way, a lot of us are 1 paycheck away from being homeless. So that's considered literally homeless. Whereas you have chronic homeless persons who have been in the streets very much longer than 1 or 2 days or a week. They've been out there for years, multiple years. Several different episodes within a year, and it's usually due to substance abuse or mental health or disability. So we have 3 permanent supportive housing programs that serve the chronic homeless population. That's our Safe Haven program, our Homes for New Beginnings program, as well as our Restore program. The Safe Haven program has 24-hour staff, and it's a dormitory style setting. So those of you who visit on the bingo, you'll be able to tour Safe Haven and see it's a dormitory style housing where they share the common areas as well as the bathroom and kitchen. We provide them meals, and they share that space. And then once they've obtained their disability income or become more self-sufficient, a lot of them like to graduate to our Homes for New Beginnings and go into their own apartment. And on our website, if you look at the blog, we have a story of a few our residents who have taken that opportunity and been really successful. And then we have our Restore program, which also serves chronically homeless persons. Now, Homes for New Beginnings and Restores, those residents have their own apartments. So those are the ones that, are always in need for furniture, sheets, toiletries, things like that to get started, because they're coming in and they don't have anything. We also have 2 voluntary community services grants where we obtain a grant from Orange County and the City of Orlando to offer services to our residents who are not in our permanent supportive housing programs. Those persons were also homeless, but they may not have been chronic homeless, but they still need services to help them maintain housing so they don't end up homeless again. And also just to help with the things that they need, whether it's medical appointments, life skills training, just birthday parties, just things to do to keep them occupied and to become more self-sufficient. We have a few additional programs that you'll hear about on the video. I'm really excited about our social enterprise programs because they really are helping persons get back to work. And as we see, that's the focus today. But during COVID last year, we were really blessed. It was like a blessing, but then it was a sadness at first, then it was a blessing. We had a partner or agency that was leasing our space next to our office, and they provided job training for persons within that community at our Maxwell Terrace West Colonial location. Well, they closed the doors during COVID, which many organizations did as well as and companies. And we just saw that as an opportunity that we can't let this leave this community. We need to continue to provide job training, employability skills, job search at this location. It was much needed in the community. So we reopened the space and started an employment program. We're really excited because it was never a part of our strategic plan, but it just fell into our lap. We just wanted to continue to provide the services to our community. So now residents and others within the community can come use the computers, can write resumes, can focus on their unemployment. They can get the job training with different organizations that partner with us. We just recently had a class where the participants could have the virtual training because, jobs are now virtually interviewing, which is really different than what we're used to, the in-person training. So now you're doing, not only you're doing your applications online, but now you're doing a video call. You have to make a difference. You have to show that I can do this job over the virtual call. So that's the training we just recently had. I think I might sit in there on the next one because those are you just never know how the world is changing and which direction that we're going into. It's really exciting, but then sometimes it gets sad because we miss being around each other and having that one-on-one contact. So we have a culinary training program, and we used to have a 12-week program in person, but with COVID, we have an 8-week program now. And we have our first class graduating June 15th, and we're hoping to do it live. So if you can watch us on Facebook, that would be exciting. This will be our first time doing our culinary skills training class live on Facebook. But those participants, they get their Safe Serve license. They learn the basic culinary skills, anything they need to get into a kitchen and start cooking. And then afterwards, we partnered with our employment program that I previously mentioned, and they're helping them with job searching and job placement and training and everything they need. So as soon as they're done with the culinary program, they jump right into the job services department. So that partnership has gone really well. So that's really exciting, because without employment, you're homeless and you can't pay bills and you can't pay rent. So it's really nice to be able to offer that to our Central Florida community. The other social enterprise we have is our Sovic Subs, which is at our Maxwell Garden location. And this is actually a franchise that was given to us by the president of Sovics. I don't know if many of you have heard about that restaurant, but it's a small sub shop, and it was the president gave us the franchise, and all the proceeds from the Sovics goes back into our programs. So they provide through Uber Eats, DoorDash, catering. If you go to our website, you'll see their menu. So we're excited about that, because every penny goes right back into our permanent supportive housing programs. We also have a resource center that fell into our lap in 2020 after COVID. So what we did with the space that I previously mentioned that was rented was we made it a resource center. So now we offer our employment training, we're offering case management, we have a food pantry, and we have a marketplace where residents can shop for free on gently used items as well as new items in our marketplace. So that was exciting, because one of our co-founder always had the dream of having a store. So being able to have this marketplace where they can get these type of items for free, especially last year during COVID when you couldn't get hand sanitizer. We were able to get a large donation of hand sanitizer, masks, all those, and make sure that every resident was provided with masks, hand sanitizer, and wipes. We even gave out toilet paper when there was a shortage, so we were excited about that. So you'll hear more about that. So what we're doing is we're just continuing to dream at Pathlight Home. Our new project coming up, and you'll hear more about it, is our demonstration project. This is also an area, we're just diving into a whole bunch of areas, and that's exciting in 2021 because things are just changing so rapidly. But we're doing a demonstration project, that's what we call it, but it's going to be a home and behind our Maxwell Garden location on Lake Holden. So we have some land behind Maxwell Garden, the parking lot that's just all grassy, and it's right on Lake Holden. So we're going to clean up that area and build a 3-bedroom home. And we want to house a veteran family. And that is our goal. And we're in the process of fundraising and looking for opportunities to build that home. And we hope to break ground this year is our goal. And we call it our demonstration project because we're hoping that in building this home, it will be a blueprint for other agencies in the community to also be able to build a home and provide a permanent place for a homeless family. I've been talking a lot. I'm sorry. So now that I've given you a background of who we are, I'm going to share a video. It's our welcome home video, and you'll see our co-founder is in the video, and you'll get to tour our facilities virtually.
My name's Helene Bloom, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Pathlight Home. We started way back in 1991, and at that time we were known as Grand Avenue Economic Community Development Corporation. We came about as I started working at Legal Aid Society, trying to create a homeless advocacy project for our community. And as I was working, I realized that no matter what I did as an attorney to help homeless people without a home, they were still homeless. They were still on the street. About that time, I saw a newspaper article where a local minister was looking to try to house persons who were homeless. He was 85 years old. His name was Reverend Fred Maxwell. I wrote him a letter when I read it in the newspaper and said, if you ever need any help, please let me know. Reverend Maxwell called me the next day after he got the letter, and we got together and talked about his vision and what I was trying to do. And he said to me, Attorney Bloom, I'll do the praying, you do the work. And I said, Reverend Maxwell, let's do this. And off we went. And from that time in 1992, we incorporated this organization and we started to look for a housing opportunity. Later that fall, there was an announcement by Department of HUD that they were doing an SRO mod rehab grant program. We asked in the community, all the people who were doing work, if anybody would want to apply for it, and nobody was willing. So we decided that we would take a shot at trying to make something happen. Had no experience doing any of this, just a willing desire and Reverend Maxwell's dream. And so we applied. And about 8 months later, we were awarded a grant, $4.8 million, to create 100 units of housing for homeless people in our community. We had a hotel that we found. It was operating, but it just so happened that the back section of the hotel was not being used. And so we were able to get an agreement with the hotel to take that back section. It just so happened, as we call it, as Reverend Maxwell called it, a God ordained, that the back section of the hotel was sat on its own boundaries. So we could divide it off from the hotel with no problem. And from that, we created 75 units of housing for homeless persons. And that housing was put into, started in October of 1996. It filled up immediately, all 75 units, in a very short period of time, and was so successful that we were able to take the remaining 25 units and leverage that into a second phase and add another 127 units, so that by 1998, there were 202 units of housing for chronically homeless people in our community using the Housing First pilot.
Good morning.
It didn't finish.
Yes, let me put that back up. Give me just a moment.
Okay, thank you.
This is the Maxwell Terrace lobby. This is where those who aren't able to enter into our permanent supportive housing program can come in and apply to one of our non-program units. Our ultimate goal for all of our residents is self-sufficiency. For that reason, our residents pay a low rent as well as sign a lease, both of which happen here as well. Now here are the units themselves. We actually have 338 here at Maxwell Terrace. All of our properties are all remodeled motels, so this actually used to be a Hilton. All of our residents have access to their own living space, bedroom kind of area, as well as their own bathroom. And then we have some shared spaces available, including a laundry room and kitchen. At this property, we also have a permanent supportive housing program that we call the Restore Program. The Restore Program specifically supports those that are chronically homeless. So what that means is that they have been homeless for either a year straight or 4 episodes within 1 year. These residents come in with no income at all and enter through the coordinated entry system that we do with the Homeless Services Network of Central Florida. Our Restore case managers have their offices over here within the apartments in order to be closer to the residents. They offer additional support services that allow our residents to reach self-sufficiency. In addition to case management, Restore has a calendar of events meant to improve quality of life. Some of the events that we have include Get Healthy with Audrey, which offers tips and tricks on how to have a healthy lifestyle. We also have Birthdays and Bingo, which offers an opportunity for community and celebration, and that all occurs here in the community room. Currently, in an effort to support social distancing guidelines, we actually host Restore activities in the Pathlight Kitchen Banquet Hall to allow for more space. This here is the Pathlight Kitchen Banquet Hall. Here is where we host all of our internal programming. In addition, this is also open to the public for rent if you ever have an event you'd like to host here. All of the income that we get from the rent then comes back to support our programs. Also in Pathlight Kitchen are 4 commercial kitchens of various sizes. Just like our banquet hall, these are open to the public for rent, for catering companies, events, whatever it may be. Again, all of the income that we get from the rent comes back to support our programs as well. Lastly, in Pathlight Kitchen is our culinary training program. This is a program that we developed for both the residents and the community, again, to offer different skills for the workforce. We actually have a classically trained chef that leads the program. It is 12 weeks long. The first 6 weeks, sometimes less depending on the class, is used to teach different life skills and kitchen skills so that they're prepared to enter the kitchen. That way, the last 6 weeks, they're able to be here in the kitchen and they know everything they need to know in advance. Upon completion of the program, they get 3 certificates. They get a completion certificate for the culinary program in general, allergen serve safe, and a food handlers. Again, these are all meant to help them be successful in the food and beverage industry. Lastly, our newest addition is the Pathlight Home Resource Center. With COVID-19 causing a ripple effect of job loss, food insecurity, amongst other issues, we saw a need for services and decided to fill that gap with our new center. Primarily in our resource center, we house our employment center. Here we offer services to both our residents as well as the greater community. When people first walk in, they'll be greeted by our employment counselor. From there, our employment counselor and employment manager will work one-on-one with the person to diagnose what their needs are in order to help them secure employment. Some of the services we offer are resume and cover letter help, computer access, application help, phone access, training seminars, and more. This is our training room, and here we host weekly seminars on professionalism and other skills needed for the workforce. We are so happy to be able to name this room after one of our founders, Reverend Fred Maxwell. Also in the Resource Center is Restore Community Services. It sounds very similar to Restore, but it's not quite the same. What we do with community services is provide voluntary case management for those who aren't in one of our permanent supportive housing programs. So any resident or someone in the community is welcome to come in here, see our case managers, and get the very same support services. Over here is our Pathlight Home Marketplace. This is an area where our residents can shop at no cost to them for different household items. Some of the things that you can find in here are kitchenware, bedding, clothing, and hygiene products. And this is also currently entirely supported by our donors who provide both new and gently used items. This is first prioritized for new move-ins who may have not lived under a roof for a very long time. After that, it's open to the entire community every month. While most of our resource center is up and running, there's plenty of room for improvement. We're excited to be able to share some new additions very soon. Hello and welcome to Maxwell Garden. This is our second property at Pathlight Home, and at this location we have 240 units. Just like Maxwell Terrace, this is a remodeled motel. This one used to be a Holiday Inn. Also, just like Maxwell Terrace, all of our residents have their own living spaces with a bedroom and bathroom and community laundry and kitchen areas. At this location, we have our other 2 permanent supportive housing programs as well as SOBICs. So I'm going to take you and show you really quick. One of our 2 permanent supportive housing programs here at Maxwell Garden is Homes for New Beginnings. This program is very similar to Restore in that it serves those that are chronically homeless. They get case management services, and they have a monthly calendar of programs that they participate in here. Our other program on property is Safe Haven. Safe Haven serves those that are chronically homeless and have no income. Safe Haven looks a little different from some of our other programs because these residents often require extra support. In comparison, Safe Haven residents have their own living space but actually share a bathroom, kitchen area, and recreational area. In addition, Safe Haven has 24/7 security and is fed a really nice meal by SOBICs twice a week. Safe Haven and Homes for New Beginnings are just like Restore, where they come in through the coordinated entry system through the Homeless Services Network of Central Florida. And this is SOBIC Subs at Maxwell Garden. We actually own this location where we offer subs, pizza, and a limited Starbucks menu. Just like Pathlight Kitchen, all the income that we make here comes back to support our programs. So this is a great way to support Pathlight Home by choosing to pick up your lunch here. We also have SOBICs on Uber Eats and DoorDash. Okay. So that is Maxwell Terrace and Maxwell Garden. As you can see, we're still up and running and expanding despite the circumstances. We're very lucky to have individual offices, glass partitions, and large spaces so that social distancing is very easy. While we can't have y'all in person, we're so glad that you came and joined us to watch our virtual tour and hope to see you in person soon. Thank you so much for watching.
My name is Babette Allen, and I'm the president of Pathlight Home. Before I mention our future endeavors, I'd like to first thank you so much for your support. because without you, we could not have done anything in our past, what we're currently doing, and what we plan to do in our future. Some of the things that we're looking forward to doing in the future is expanding our housing to include families. We really want to broaden our horizon in that area. Also, we'd like to expand our property management division where we can offer the same services that we do within our communities to you and your community. So thank you very much. Sign up for our newsletter so you can stay informed, become a champion, a Pathlight champion. We really need your support. Thank you again. We really appreciate you. I have a correction. So when the video was recorded, we were offering 12-week culinary classes. So we're doing 8 weeks now because of COVID. And our marketplace looked very small then. It's huge now. We've added new shelving, and we had to actually move it into another room that's larger because we get so many donations. So we're very thankful for that. That's a good thing though. I want to share that we have been I don't know if anyone got to see the state of Orange County with our mayor last week before last, but our facility was actually shown on the video for the I Got My Shot. So we're really big on getting the vaccine at our locations for our residents and trying to make sure that those areas where people don't have the transportation or the ability to get to vaccine locations, that we are bringing that to our locations and making sure that we're getting those services to our residents. And with the changes that are going on in the hospitality industry, with hotels, a lot of people are moving towards Airbnbs versus the hotels. So we're starting to continue to look for more hotels that are, having difficult times to offer more housing in Central Florida, because as you know, it is still much needed. So as our industry is changing, we're looking at this as an opportunity to try to locate those hotels that are not doing well during this season, to provide housing to those least among us. Thank you again for this time. Do you have any questions for me that you'd like for me to answer?
Miss Babette?
Yes.
Could you stay a while afterwards and
Sure.
talk to us? I think we'll probably go ahead and end the service now, and then stick around, everybody, and we'll have more discussion.
Great. Thank you. And again, have a restful Sunday.
As we extinguish the flame, please think about all that we've seen and heard today and our dedication to the community. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Our closing music, Abide With Me, is performed by Lee Morris.
Abide with me. Fast falls the eventide. The darkness deepens. Still with me abide. When other helpers fail and comforts flee, help of the helpless, oh, abide with me. Swift to its close, ebbs out life's little day. Earth's joys grow dim, its glories pass away. Change and decay in all around I see. Oh, We need each other every passing hour. Channels of grace and life affirming power. Faithful companions, share this path with me. Through all our fears and hopes, abide with me.
Thank you. My closing words today come from Nelson Mandela. What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It's what difference we have made for the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead. Thank you. Peace be with you. And stick around because I'm sure you have some questions for Babette. And I want to say I thought this was an outstanding service, not only because of the focus it was on, but what Joey did and the things Miss Babette Allen said, and that we are associated with such a great enterprise. Thank you.